I am the infamous Orion, and I didn't bring a guitar for this week.
I was wondering. I'm Chiral.
We're doing a little bit of a later show because I had to go to a birthday party, like some kind of loser with a social life.
How dare you? Enjoying the day on such a wonderful early fall evening.
I am breaking white guy with a podcast law by going outside today.
I bet you even touched grass.
I did not touch grass, thank God.
Oh, that's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Two Schmoes Show. Did you get what I was referencing, Kyril?
No.
Good. Means no one else is going to get the reference. If you do, drop a comment down below. Engagement grows this podcast. Or don't. I'm not a cop. How's your week been? Well, 2 weeks, Kyril. How's your last 2 weeks?
Yeah. It's been busy. For having a holiday smack in the middle of it, it's been kind of annoyingly busy these last couple of weeks. Other than just being generally busy, it's been good. Weather's been holding out okay. There's a couple of pretty hot days, but otherwise it's been, tolerable enough for being able to be outside. Yeah, can't complain.
I agree. It was so nice, I even took a Chicago vacation.
Nice.
Yeah. You know, I've learned a lot about Chicago.
What's that?
Anywhere that's cool to hang out has a lot of those panhandling scams going on around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Was not a fan of that. I tell you what. There's this one dude, right? He made it like a Shakespearean soliloquy where he was giving us like this nice hot button topic risk. List, not risk. Where he was like, yeah, I'm gay, I have anxiety, yeah, where he was going through like all these like little hot topic pity words. And I'm like, dude, you're wearing a fucking Rolex. Get out of my fucking sight. I shit you not, he was wearing a Rolex. I do not understand how he did not think that through.
Yeah, as someone who goes to Chicago fairly regularly, it is definitely kind of everywhere, and you just have to learn to ignore it for the most part.
Yeah, we made this really bad mistake of like sitting near the entrance to Grand Union Station.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so like people doing their little panhandling routes would see us like right at the entrance and go for us for their first target. It was mildly annoying, I tell you what.
I believe it.
So, anything else going on in the world today that's important?
A couple of things. There's been kind of one very large news story that's been breaking over the last couple of days. But I think we'll get to that a little bit later. And we'll start with the lighter stuff that happened just recently. Bit of a fluff piece to start, though, but very interesting to see given the context of everything that happened over the summer. Kendrick Lamar set to headline the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show.
Drake's ass is grass.
I don't understand the reference to it, but I did watch the video that was posted announcing it on his YouTube channel, and apparently even there he makes some dig Drake kind of subtly.
That's so funny. Like, I made a joke about this, but I'm fully like before the podcast, but I'm fully expecting just not like us to play like 23 times. Otherwise,
would be very funny.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think Kendrick deserves it, quite frankly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We were looking it up, and not even Kanye got a fucking halftime show, which to me just blows my little fucking mind because Kanye seems like he would have been one of the first people to get that slot. Back in the day.
Yeah, I'm curious if there's anybody that's performed like a significant number of them.
Like someone who's done the most?
Yeah. Apparently it's Gloria Estefan.
That's impressive.
She's done it 3 times in the 90s. 92, 95, and 99.
That's almost a presidential term.
Yeah, most of these aren't too surprising. There's very few that have done it 3 times, and most of them are only like technicalities, like with the Dr. Dre halftime show, just because there was like 50 people who went on the stage for parts of it.
I was about to say, wasn't Dre's basically like just a magical mystery tour kind of show?
Yeah, it's like technically Kendrick was there for that as well, but it's like, does that count? Not really.
No. If that counts, Guns N' Roses got to do it when Slash was on the stage with the Black Eyed Peas. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot their names. They haven't been relevant in so long.
Of the ones that are legitimate here, assuming this list is accurate from Billboard, the only ones that have 2 legitimate halftime show appearances are Beyonce with 2, which makes sense. Bruno Mars with 2. Apparently Nelly had 2. Stevie Wonder had 2. And then the only ones with 3 are, as we previously said, Gloria Estefan and Justin Timberlake.
Why Justin Timberlake?
I don't know. I think part of it must just be because in the early 2000s, he was just massively popular. So they did it twice then. Apparently they NSYNC headlined with Aerosmith in 2001.
That's
part of it.
Yeah.
And then he performed under, just himself in 2018 for the most recent.
Wow. I didn't even realize it's like just a fairly recent thing that they've had like celebrities do the halftime show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it turns out for the vast majority of its history, the Super Bowl halftime was just the Super Bowl at halftime. Yeah.
Like, you kind of start looking through the history, and like it's not until like the 90s.
Yeah.
And like 93, out of nowhere comes Michael fucking Jackson.
I was going to say, and even then in the 90s, 3 of them are Gloria Estefan, which is like, no shade to her. She's fantastic. But 3 times in the same decade feels a little excessive.
Oh, hell yeah. I feel like that Michael Jackson show may have set the precedent for all future performances. Because then you start seeing Diana Ross, the Blues Brothers. That's silly.
That's a bit weird. That's silly, yeah.
Yeah. Then you got Gloria Estefan and Stevie Wonder. Phil fucking Collins.
Mm-hmm. I guess they turned out that having popular A-list musicians give live performances in front of a mass audience brings you a lot of people watching your show. And from that, lots of money.
Dude, this one's the boldest of them all. 2005, they get Paul McCartney. Then after that, they get the Rolling Stones. Beautiful. That's just great shit right there. And then to follow that all up, arguably the better of all 3, Prince.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty hard to compare.
Yeah, dude. Like, you can just see, like, once Michael enters the ring, it's just celebrity after celebrity.
Mm-hmm. Other piece of relatively light news that I have here. I'm gonna start with this. I don't know if you've heard, but I'm gonna give a quote here, and I'm curious if you know who this quote is attributed to. Who said it this last week?
Oh no!
In our nation's 248-year history, there has never been an individual who is a greater threat to our Republican than Donald Trump. He tried to steal the last election using lies and violence to keep himself in power after the voters had rejected him. He can never be trusted with power again. As citizens, we each have a duty to put country above partisanship to defend our Constitution. That is why I'll be casting my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris.
Alex, I'll take who is Dick Cheney?
Dick fucking Cheney.
Dick fucking Cheney.
That is correct.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Dick fucking Cheney said that.
Yeah.
Do you think that Donnie kind of shit himself a little bit when he heard that?
I hope so. Like, if you can't get Dick fucking Cheney on your side, what are you doing?
Seriously, dude. Like, no shade to Kamala, because, you know, she's the better candidate between the two.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, like, a Dick Cheney endorsement is probably doing her worse than it would have done for Donald Trump. Because not many people want to be on the same fucking side as Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
That's how shitty Donnie is.
Yeah. Notably, alongside the statement, which was first not reported, I guess, but communicated by Liz Cheney, one of his daughters, a Wyoming, I believe, Senate Republican, not 100% on that. But Liz Cheney, who also announced that she would be supporting Kamala Harris with her vote, more importantly, also announced, this is Liz, that she would be... Do they have it in here? I don't think they do. That she would be supporting I believe it's the Democrat Ted Cruz opponent. The person who's running against Ted Cruz, Colin Allred. Because Ted Cruz also sucks.
Yes, he does. I saw this meme where it was like, you know that scene from Lord of the Rings where it's like, I can't believe I'm going to die next to an elf?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was something like that. It was like, I can't believe I'm going to vote with Liz Cheney. And then it's like, well, how about voting with Dick Cheney? And then he goes, holy fuck, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
Dude, nobody should... There's a glitch in the simulation if Dick Cheney's not on the DT ticket. Curious now. I'm going to see if I can go onto r/conservative and see the moment that Dick Cheney made that endorsement and what the
they're coping massively. I believe the phrase that I heard people say, and this is about Dick Cheney, the architect of fucking foreign invasion in order to bolster his party's political chances, the person who in part popularized the idea of presidents being unable to be held accountable at any level, was being unironically described by the dumbest people in our country as an irrelevant Republican in name only.
I love that. It's got like a little pseudo alliteration there.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite thing about r/conservative is?
What's that?
So I'm going through it and I'm seeing like the upvotes. The upvotes typically follow like political stuff is like in the double digits for upvotes. But as soon as you get to something like racism or transphobia, it goes all the way up.
Yeah. That is part of the problem with the and we'll get to this in more detail in a minute, but like the right-wing social media sphere in general, is that it is so easy to trick them into supporting your stuff by just picking the right buzzwords.
It really is, because like they're fucking going off about Elton John being some r/conservative hero because he said something slightly nice about Donald Trump. Elton fucking John. I don't think they get the joke.
Nope. No, they don't. They rarely do.
No. These are probably like the most... I'm a little hesitant to say it now because I don't want to fucking harassed online. But like, I doubt some of them have the media literacy to even find this podcast.
No. Forget media literacy. They would have to be literate first.
Damn. If you are conservative and you're pissed at Chiral, feel free to tweet.
Leave a comment below.
Leave a comment below.
We definitely
love our hate mail.
will read it.
I'll probably read it, and then I'll cry to myself. You ever go to r/politics?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not like super often, but every once in a while.
I've been doing it just to kind of catch up with the polls, because they'll post polls in there. And I this election, I find myself very oddly attracted to polls, even though I know they're not exactly the best barometer. But, like, I've been going on there, and every time, like, you go on there, there's, like, this nice content circle that goes on, where they'll show a poll of Kamala doing pretty well, and then you immediately get this same, like, comment flow of, like, shut the fuck up, vote, or Donald Trump's still going to win, vote, and it's just all this, like, slacktivism about, like, just respond to these polls where no one asked for any of it.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, I think I hate Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
If you like Reddit, please leave a comment down below. Tell me why I'm
mind Reddit, but I do acknowledge that it is pretty terrible.
It is. How do I put this? Between the aggregated content of X at the moment, where it's Nazism all over the place, it is nice to have more. What's the word I'm looking for? Diverse taste in how my content gets aggregated for me from Reddit mods than X algorithms. Would you ever mod a subreddit?
Probably. It would depend on the exact type of one, and I would never do one for a large subreddit, but probably.
Fair.
I mean, it's not like mods do anything in the first place, right?
No, they don't. Dude, one of my favorite things I've ever experienced on the internet, right? There was this YouTuber I liked. I won't say who their name was, but they basically got into some drama and whatnot. And I was trying to keep up with the drama because it was like one of those things where new things happened every day. So I would go onto their subreddit, and basically every day you would get like the same 3 posts about how their users are devastated about this drama. Mm-hmm. But like then you would see like the mods just bitch in the comments about how they actually have to moderate now because they were pretty sure the sub would die out sooner than later.
Oh, while we're on Reddit, I wonder if I can find it. One of the one of the largest active subreddits it was just like interesting as fuck or something like that, I think. I don't remember the exact one, but it was one of those very generic, just like general, look at this cool thing kind of subreddits that always makes it to the front page because it's very generic.
Yeah, it's a brain rot content farm.
Yeah, they recently put in place a ban on allowing, like, basically they increased the threshold required for people to post to reduce bots and spam from interacting with it. And after they did that, there was not a single post for 2 days after.
That's hilarious.
It was the entire subreddit was just bots reposting things, spamming things. And there was, like, legitimately, one of the mods responded to this. It's just like, why are we doing this? Because nobody's fucking making content. There was a single post in a 48-hour period, and that was it.
All power to them. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, have you been following the Nikado avocado situation?
I've heard about it. I don't really fully understand it. Like, I get that, like, broad strokes it happened, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm not familiar with them in the first place, so it's just like, yeah, a guy did a thing to me.
So, like, for those of you who don't know, Nikado Avocado is a YouTuber, fucking mukbanger, likes to eat a lot of shit while people are watching. No worries with that, no problem whatsoever. I understand he might be a little bit of a wacky character. I genuinely don't know because I don't care enough. But what I find funny is the situation that just happened with him. The motherfucker spent apparently like 7 months of mukbanging to get like 2 years worth of content. Just constantly creating YouTube videos. And then he's been technically just stockpiling content and posting it sporadically throughout the period of 2 years while he lost weight and he's come back as like this little stick figure man. And I think that's the funniest shit of all time.
Mm-hmm. The commitment to the bit is excellent. One of the cool things that I did hear about it was that apparently he's done like a bunch of collaborations with people throughout this. So there's like, it's not like it's just him. He's been, having to go through and make sure that other people don't leak what his plans for it was.
Yeah.
And apparently there were a couple of times where it did leak and nobody believed them because they just didn't believe that he would just lose all that weight that quickly. That would be impossible.
I don't know if I'm endorsing him by saying this, but I think that's kind of badass. Granted, he could be, like, again, a wacky character, as I've heard. And I could have just endorsed someone evil, but I think that's kind of hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I found out at work the other day? Everybody out there in this professional world, here's your cheat code. There's a way you can insult people at work without getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just call anybody you want to insult a silly Billy. HR never gets on your fucking ass. Man, I'm on a little bit of a bunny trail today. This is supposed to be the important news segment that makes us all depressed. I apologize.
All right. Would you like to go into the big story of the week?
I knew that was coming. Yes, please, because
all right,
this is where I get outsed.
Let me get because this is going to be a pretty major thing. The immediate falling out in the wake of this pretty handily confirms how accurate these indictments are. But the Department of Justice has issued allegations to a Tennessee company that we now know is Tenet Media, accusing them of effectively being influence laundering assets of the Russian state media, Russia Today.
Yeah. How fucked up is that?
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And it is only the very tip of the iceberg. So this piece here is only related to payments made. This is an unsealed indictment in Southern District of New York that accuses 2 employees of Russia Today of paying just near $10 million to Tenet Media, which is in part a platform for other content creators, but specifically it has a specialty in far-right content.
Yeah. Yeah.
According to prosecutors, the goal of the operation perpetrated by the Russian Today employees was to fuel pro-Russia narratives by pushing content and news articles favoring Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump and others who the Kremlin deemed to be friendlier to their interests.
This is where I get a little awkward about it, because I'm pretty sure, because I recognize these names. iHeartMedia, my former employer, we were very in that right mind headspace.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I may have been, there's a non-zero chance Russian money went into my paychecks. Into the U.S., I apologize. And this is very fucking awkward because I have a very Slavic Lucian last name as well. I'm not going to be able to look at my coworkers in the eyes.
Apparently, the indictment outlines how a particular social media star was approached by Tenet Media's founder with an offer of $2 million per year to make videos for the company. One of the founders later wrote that it would need closer to $5 million per year in order to hold the interest of the social media star. Otherwise, though, some of the notable right-wing personalities that were on Tenet Media's payroll includes Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, and Benny Johnson. And as part of the unsealed indictments, we have heard that I believe Poole was the one in particular that I saw the numbers for. And the allegations say that he was being paid nearly $300,000 per month to make videos for the platform.
That's fucked up.
Yep.
You know, I see him on Twitter all the time, but I've never understood how Tim Pool got popular.
I mean, I imagine it is largely just outrage and astroturfing. Like if you're being paid hundreds of thousands of dollars per month by the Russian government in order to spread propaganda, I feel like they'll figure out the rest of it as they go.
Fair. Very fair.
That's very funny. Apparently, the two people connected to Tenet Media in the U.S. are Lauren Chen and Liam Donovan. Donovan is identified as the president of Tenet Media. They are married. Chen is apparently a right-wing influencer, appeared in many of Tenet Media's videos, and has more than 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. Also listed as a contributor for several articles in Russia Today's media list from 2021 and 2022, and was previously linked to the youth organization, it feels generous to call it a conservative youth organization, the far-right youth organization, Turning Point USA. As of Thursday, Turning Point USA has deleted any web pages that featured Chen.
That's hilarious.
That's kind of a running theme in this, too, that I find very strange. And we talked about it briefly before, but this also includes a number of YouTube channels that were related to Tenet Media and the people around it, that YouTube has only just now removed their channels and the videos related to them in the wake of this investigation. Quote, following an indictment from the U.S. Department of Justice and after careful review, we are terminating the Tenet Media channel and 4 channels operated by its owner, Lauren Chen, as part of our ongoing efforts to combat coordinated influence operations. Which is, obviously the right thing to do at this point, but if you are one of these individuals that, the only difference between a video being suitable for YouTube and no longer being suitable for YouTube isn't its content. It's whether or not your paycheck came from advertiser revenue or the Russian government that had you post it. That's the part that I don't get. If these videos were somehow evidence in their own right of being part of a coordinated influence operation, where the money comes from shouldn't matter. The content of the video is the same regardless. And I am certain that there are many more videos on YouTube that contain the exact same content, but because they haven't explicitly been connected to a state media disinformation campaign, they're fine to stay on the platform indefinitely.
Yeah, dude. It's about the investors at the end of the day, dude. Investors don't like Russia.
Going on with it, who is this? Harmeet Dillon, who was a legal advisor to the Trump campaign in 2020. I love this. This is not the most serious publication writing it, but they described her as having slapped her name on Elon Musk's dumbest lawsuit. Tweeted out, "Remember, friends, don't talk to law enforcement without counsel. Just trust me on this." Which, good advice in general, for sure.
Yeah.
But in the context of what is happening, is wildly suspicious.
No, I agree. Like, what the fuck?
It's very funny because there's been multiple individuals who have already confirmed that they are talking with the DOJ already, and that they are at least claiming for now that they were equally deceived and are being treated as victims of the fraudulent activity.
Okay, so like
another notable thing here, right?
Yeah.
Tenet Media, Russian disinformation, removed from YouTube because it's Russian disinformation. Tim Pool, who, quote, "The show is produced in its entirety by our local team without input from anyone external to the company," giving the clear implication that the substance of their content, at least they're claiming, did not change from the money that they are receiving, and that it will not change in the wake of these indictments and allegations. But if your content is so near already to being Russian disinformation that Russia is willing to give you money just to keep doing what you're doing, why are they allowed to be on any platform at that point? Just wild shit.
Yeah. I say it's money.
Yeah. Probably is at the end of the day, which is disappointing. In a related vein, the Department of Justice has also announced, kind of in relation to this, series of charges and alleged violations of sanctions involving people trying to smuggle money or goods into Russia. So not anything particularly spicy here. Apparently people were trading, where was it? Vehicles, art, services in exchange for providing money and avoiding sanctions that are placed on Russian oligarchs. So if you're an American and you're doing business with a Russian oligarch, go fuck yourself.
Okay.
And if you don't, the DOJ will help.
Now, do you think the DOJ is going to get anything done before the election? Because I severely doubt it.
I don't know. It depends on how tight their cases are, right? This is like borderline on treason, and the people involved with it are basically nobodies, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to get warrants to hold them basically indefinitely.
Fair.
I guess that is something else that we can go through with our very fair and reasonable justice system that we have to live with. Legal, give them like a shout out like always, has a very concise breakdown of the various legal updates that happened this week as it relates to Trump's many criminal cases that he's being tried for. The two big ones, though, are that two big ones. Trump's case in New York has had its sentencing delayed / rescheduled for after the election, which is a massively disappointing piece of news to have heard about this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not too much else to go through on it. Trying to see if I can grab a quick article about it. But yeah, I was hoping for better out of the judge who was overseeing that case, and it's just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Yeah, disappointing. In better news, though, Judge Chutkan and Jack Smith have apparently convened a second grand jury in relation to Trump's role in the January 6th case. That is the case that was brought up to the Supreme Court with the question of presidential immunity. And in a 3-week period, which is pretty damn remarkable, they convened a second entirely separate grand jury, represented the evidence that they had of Trump's crimes as it relates to January 6th, excluding any evidence that, per the Supreme Court's guidelines in their rulings on presidential immunity, could be considered protected under those guidelines. And the grand jury, the second grand jury, still found Trump to have more likely than not committed those crimes, and they are proceeding ahead with trial once again.
Oh, fun.
So, yeah, we will have to see how that goes. I strongly suspect that the next major piece of news as it relates to that is that Trump's lawyers will again appeal to the Supreme Court, claiming, once again, some semblance of presidential immunity, still trying to apply it. But we will have to wait and see. And whether or not that happens, that'll be a pretty difficult position for the Supreme Court to find themselves in. Though, more likely than not, if it comes to that, they will have already done their job of delaying the case until after the election. But assuming this goes up to the Supreme Court, they're going to be put into a position where they'll either, they'll have to actually give a ruling on whether a specific piece of evidence is considered protected by the president or for the president or not, which is something that they're reluctant to do. They'll have to apply their own standards that they concocted, and we'll get a much better idea of just how bad of a situation the United States has found itself in as it relates to this question of presidential immunity. All good news.
Don't lie to me like that.
No, it's definitely not great, but this was extremely inevitable. The notable piece here is that Jack Smith was able to get his team behind the situation as quickly as they were to mitigate any potential further delays that any oppositions to the justice that they're trying to find might have. Okay. I think with that.
Oh.
Yes.
No, I was just going to say, we're like 2 months away from the election, right?
Yeah.
How are you feeling, Kyril? In a grand picture of everything.
Wild amounts of apathy.
Really?
I have been dealing with this shit for 8 years straight now, at least.
Yeah.
The only thing that I want after what is it, November 5th? The only thing I want after November 5th is for it to stop.
I want
it to end. And the only way that has a chance of happening is Kamala winning, obviously.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really shit of every presidential election I've ever voted in having Donald fucking Trump on the ballot.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
Dude, like, I know this is probably his last one. Because, like, realistically, do you think he's going to have the energy for another one in 4 years if he loses?
God, no. I think there's a very open question whether or not he has the physical health to be alive in 4 years' time.
That's what I was wondering too.
I will say I am looking forward to the presidential debate, right?
I feel like I'm getting just all this energy welled up in me, like all my political like poll watching has just been anticipation for the debate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me double check this. Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
It's going to be late 9 p.m. Tuesday night. So I am apprehensively looking forward to it. I am extremely confident in Kamala's capabilities of wiping the fucking floor with him.
Dude, I'm ready for like Trump to go off on word salad halfway through it. Yeah.
The only thing that, and I know almost certainly that there is a 0% chance of this happening, but something that I think would, even for someone of Trump's infamy, I guess you could say, that would at this point be like career ending for him, would be to get him caught on like a hot mic dropping a slur on live TV, because I've seen some very interesting analysis of that seems to imply he's been very close to doing that already. And I think just with Kamala being such a, you know, she's a fucking prosecutor.
Yeah.
She doesn't struggle with dealing with shitty people. She doesn't have the kinds of, you know, emotional responses that an unprepared, relatively young politician might have. She is extremely well prepared to debate an old white felon.
Did you watch that video that happened the other day of like the Trump rally where he lost track of what he was saying and then someone in the crowd said Kamala for president really loud?
No, but I would be very amused by that.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. It was like, that made my day. It's so funny too because like he's behind his bulletproof glass when it happens, and you can see like the moment he like realizes what they're saying in the crowd, he just gets like this little frown on his face and he's trying to figure out what to say to shut them up.
Amazing. I guess that is something that is worth at least noting, is that there was a particularly horrible and high-profile school shooting that happened this last week in Georgia. You know, one of many that happened this last week, which is fucking depressing to have to say. But in the wake of that, being the smooth talker that he is, J.D. Vance did his best job to give his, you know, classic emotion and compassionate response as he stands behind his bulletproof glass box and his multiple Secret Service bodyguards when asked about it, and gave, let me see if I can find it, because from what I recall it was basically that he said that it's time to move on.
Damn.
And it's just like, how despicable can you be?
Yeah.
Sorry, no, that was Trump who said that at an Iowa rally the day after a shooting in Iowa. J.D. Vance said that school shootings are a fact of life in the United States. As if he wasn't already wildly unlikable enough.
What do you think is going to happen to JD after the election? Like, you know, if he loses...
I mean, even if he wins, he has destroyed any chance that he has of a career in politics.
Yeah.
The only thing he has at this point is, like, moving as, like, a political advisor to some, you know, Fortune 500 type company. Probably not even that big. But basically becoming a lobbyist.
I was thinking he's just going to give, like, speeches at, like, small, like, young Republican meetings.
Nobody likes him.
He's not likable whatsoever.
No, he has zero charisma.
Dude literally put all of his fucking. Yeah.
He's I wonder if this is like a statistical thing, but just in terms of like public sentiment, he is the first vice presidential, elect or first vice presidential nominee announcement that made people less excited for a political campaign.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Like the bar is through. You're competing with Sarah Palin and you lost badly. What are you doing? In some other news, though,
Yeah,
we got some movie stuff to talk about.
movie stuff. I fucking love movie stuff.
Only one real release to talk about over the last 2 weeks, and that is Beetlejuice.
So nice, they said it twice.
Yeah. I hope that they do, at this point, I hope that they do a third one, and it's just, obviously Beetlejuice 3 times.
Yeah.
Because that would be very funny from, like, a marketing thing of, like, having people, like, constantly trying to saying the name of the movie and constantly being stopped from saying the name of the movie.
Do you think we do need a Beetlejuice cinematic trilogy?
Absolutely fucking not.
Yeah.
I'm glad that people seem to be enjoying this. Like, I'm not going to shit on people for liking something, but it is, like, the least necessary sequel that I could probably think of. Like, you'd have to dig deep.
I'm going to say this, and I think I might be a little sacrilegious when I say this. I never really liked the original Beetlejuice.
No, I agree. It's fine, right? Yeah. Like so many movies from the 70s and the 80s and 90s, and particularly comedies, they're fine. They're not by any means bad, but, serviceable. They do their job. They're an hour and 30 minutes of entertainment. But like we're quickly approaching the point of them doing, like, another Blues Brothers movie.
I ain't going back to Blues Brothers 2000.
I can't think of something that I would want less than that.
How about Singing in the Rain 2?
That would at least be more interesting.
Thunderstorm Boogaloo.
I will say, the only way that they could do, like, what would it be, like Blues Brothers 3 at this point, whatever it is, would be to have it be just like an hour 45 of them chasing down Illinois Nazis. Like, that's it. It's just them and their car chasing down Illinois Nazis and having ever more creative ways of them dying, and then never quite showing them, like, explicitly dying to keep the PG-13 rating. Like, just pure absurd, like, Mad Max Fury Road, but really, really dumb.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like all one big chase, and nobody's happy to watch it. So yeah, Beetlejuice. Turns out, it's fine. I'm honestly surprised it's getting as positive of reception as it is. I thought it was, just judging by the trailers, it looked really bad. So I'm glad for the people who were excited for this, like, as a concept at all, that it's not a gigantic pile of shit. Because I think that would have been very sad.
I feel like with these legacy sequels, it's just kind of so easy to assume the worst out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just... The fact we're doing Beetlejuice just tells me we've kind of hit the wall.
It feels like it.
You know what would be great for Beetlejuice 3?
What's that?
Okay, so it's Beetlejuice, he gets summoned. You know who they fucking called to get rid of him? The Ghostbusters. Crossover, baby.
Oh, God.
Beetlejuice versus the Ghostbusters. Someone hit me up. I'll have a script ready by Thursday.
interesting piece here. Credit to them where it is due. Apparently, they did this on $100 million budget.
Really?
Yeah, especially with as stacked of a cast as they had for it. I would not be surprised if they just called in a lot of favors, maybe. But, you know, two things to give them credit for. $100 million budget, it's 104 minutes.
You know, that's refreshing, actually.
Yeah, clearly somebody, Tim Burton, obviously, working on it, had a very measured amount of self-restraint to not go completely wildly indulgent.
Yeah. That being said, they can only afford one Robert Downey Jr. for their movie.
Yeah. In other, like, actually films you can go and see right now, news, Alien Romulus has cleared $300 million at the box office.
Woohoo!
Good for them. I actually helped a bit with that. I went and took my dad to go see it last week, and he liked it. And it's like, yeah, it's a good Alien movie. That's all you can ask for sometimes.
You know, Here I am bitching about legacy sequels, but then we're talking about a new Alien movie.
Yeah, I know. It's jumped the shark so many times at this point, though. It's like, it's gone.
Yeah. There's
no stopping it. You can just, you got to take what you can get at this point.
When do you think we're going to get the legacy sequels of Birth of a Nation?
Oh, God. I wonder... See, that's the kind of thing that I have to wonder... See, like, there's apparently a 2016... I don't think it's related The Birth of a Nation. I don't think it's related to anything.
No. Here's my idea, right? Legacy sequel for Birth of a Nation. You make it about the making of Birth of a Nation and its controversial legacy.
Apparently, the book Birth of a Nation has a sequel.
No fucking way.
It's called The Fall of a Nation.
No way.
Yeah. The Fall of a Nation, a sequel to The Birth of a Nation, is an invasion literature novel by Thomas Dixon Jr. Dixon described it as a burning theme, our need of preparation to defend ourselves in the World War. First published 1916, Dixon, directed a film version of it released the same year, so they already made it.
Never mind. Citizen Kane 2. Let's do it.
Citizen Kane 2.
He comes back as a zombie.
I would be like, I have to. I'm curious. Oh wow, that's a great on the Wikipedia page for the Fall of a Nation novel. Their second quote or their second citation is what is this? Is this a book? Yeah, it's like a collegiate book called "American Racist: The Life and Films of Thomas Dixon."
I love that title. That's good.
That's very good. Anthony Slide, very well done. Good job. Oh, it's also fast. This is probably actually maybe a decent book to actually read through. There's another one here. Carolyn Jess Cook, 2009, Film Sequels, Theory and Practice from Hollywood to Bollywood. Actually sounds kind of interesting.
Oh, here's another legacy sequel.
Yep.
8 Samurai, the sequel to 7 Samurai.
Would the sequel be 8 or 6?
I say 8 because we go bigger nowadays.
Okay, that's fair.
The 8th Samurai is Robert Downey Jr.
Of course it is.
Yeah. You get the original 7, which I think is impossible because I'm pretty sure at least one of them is dead by now.
Yeah.
And then you just add Robert Downey Jr. into the middle of it. I'm going to hell. I absolutely love that movie. Okay. Any other movies?
I was going to say, I want to make the segue of, and speaking of going to hell, but I'm not ready to go to that movie yet. Did want to make mention of the announcement of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. with Shadow the Hedgehog, voiced by Keanu Reeves.
I watched that trailer like 3 times.
Yeah.
Just because like I couldn't get over how well animated it was.
It does look very good.
I can't get over it, dude. I've not seen a single Sonic movie, but the animation in that trailer was so good.
I had forgotten when I first saw it that Keanu is voicing Shadow, and it didn't stand out to me that it's just like, oh yeah, that's Keanu Reeves, in the same way that Idris Elba as Knuckles doesn't stand out either. So credit to both of them for like actually acting and not just reading their lines as themselves off of a script.
Can I also point out one thing here, right? Sonic the Hedgehog 3. We are at the point where there's a video game adaptation that's done so well, it's got a full trilogy, finally.
Yeah, and it, like, doesn't suck.
No, it's supposedly doing so well, even got a spin-off series.
Really? I didn't hear that. Oh, right, because they did the Knuckles stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the movie that got Jim Carrey to come out of retirement again to play 2 roles.
Yeah. At some point, I really do need to see it just to see Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman, because he does seem very good for the role.
You know, honestly, like, I'm only wanting to see those movies just for Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to go out and make a supercut that it's just Jim Carrey's scenes, cut it down to like 20 minutes and post it on YouTube.
Of all 3 movies, of course.
Yes, of all 3 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of going to hell, they're doing a live action Minecraft movie. It's just called a Minecraft movie.
So anyway, as I was saying, it's pretty cool that the Sonic movies have also had the most consistent like sequel time frame as well, with a new one coming out every 2 years. Okay, yeah. So Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate this.
I felt a little. What's the word I'm looking for? Violated when I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a parody.
It looks like those old College Humor trailers from like back in early YouTube when Minecraft was popular.
Especially when they just have like just Jack Black as Jack Black show up as Jack Black doing Jack Black things.
No, he is Steve.
He's not. He's Jack Black.
Fuck you.
He honestly looks like kind of like, I mean, no shade to Jack Black when I say this, right? He's obviously an icon of multiple industries and a wonderful individual, right? His portrayal as Steve in the A Minecraft movie trailer, he looks like shit. He looks really rough. I don't know if there's like a weird lighting thing with how heavily backlit it is, but he just looks really like unkept in a way that he normally doesn't. Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at the image. I know what you're talking about. Like that little dead glare, and you can kind of see like bags under his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's honestly so okay. Yes, exactly that one.
He's literally me.
It is honestly such a shame that they decided that, okay, we have Jason Momoa and Jack Black, and in order for people to remember that we have paid all of this money for these names on our movie, we need to make sure that they can see their faces. So we have to have them be just themselves, or people will forget how much money that we spent on them, and they won't see our shitty, poorly written movie. Because a lot of the rest of it doesn't look good by any measure of the definition, right? Because you have like the llama and the sheep and the pigmen and the really like horrifying looking wolf. But I respect their commitment to the bit to go that far and intentionally make something that hideous. You can't make something that looks that bad by accident. Somebody spent probably years of their life fine-tuning just how uncanny and disgusting some of these models look. And I respect that. But it is all massively undercut by having actual actors just appear because.
You want to hear something kind of fucked up?
What's that?
Guess who's doing the music for it?
I have no... Is it, like, fucking... I can't even think of an actual composer to put their name on it, because, like, anything that I say, I feel like I would be insulting someone.
So, they are a famous person.
Okay.
They had a top 40 hit.
Is it Axl Rose?
No, why would you think Axl Rose?
Because I don't know. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It's like top 40 hit, I feel like, kind of limits it to people who've actually done scores.
Fair. Well, this person has done some scores.
Okay.
They also did a very, very famous TV show theme.
I have no idea then.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to put the fucking theme song in there to start off, just to kind of wet your whistle with the kind of legacy we're working with.
Sure.
It's the guy who did the Super Mario Bros. Super Show theme, which is just a remix of the Mario theme.
That is extremely loud, just in case you're curious.
So, they got the lead singer from Devo, Mark Mothersbaugh, to do the music.
Good God. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that?
Kind of like looking over all this. He's got quite the... And I just don't... He did Thor Ragnarok.
I was going to say, wait a minute. He did the Royal Tenenbaums.
He did The Croods, A New Age. He did Cocaine Bear.
It's like, is he like just actually good? What's going on?
I have mixed opinions on his music. I don't like Devo, but I do appreciate some music he's done for other things.
Like, he's done legitimately very successful, well-composed film scores.
Yeah.
Oops, that wasn't what I meant to do. He composes for What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
That's, like, extremely popular.
He did the music for Rugrats.
That doesn't surprise me. I am genuinely surprised at how extensive his film credits are.
He also did the Lego Movie, which I'm pretty sure is why he got the gig.
That makes sense. The Mitchells versus the Machines as well.
That's pretty good. I like that movie.
Croods, New Age, bunch of Hotel Transylvania stuff. Huh.
So can we also talk about the fact that Jason Momoa looks like he's trying to cosplay as Taylor Swift?
Yeah, have they explained that at all?
No.
They just haven't. They've chosen to just let it be an unknown at this point. Like, I assume it's going to be some joke of it's just like it's another one of the children and they go through the portal thing or whatever and they're Jason Momoa now. Like, because they want to get some of that Jumanji money kind of thing, right?
It does feel like Jumanji.
That's what it feels like to me. But it doesn't make any sense at all.
I just don't get it, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
When you look up the film credits, Jason Momoa comes up before Jack Black.
Yeah. I'm not too surprised by that. Jason Momoa is just very mainstream. Googling, why does Jason Momoa look like that? I'm curious what it pulls up with. No. In the Minecraft trailer, because of course I can't just have things be easy.
Any luck?
No.
Inconclusive.
Yeah, no. This is on the Minecraft subreddit. Somebody asked, why is Jason dressed like that? And literally nobody knows.
One of the greatest mysteries, isn't it?
Okay, this is actually a creative idea that I would be shocked if they went with, but Jason Momoa's character is that person online that claims they are a 13-year-old girl, so when he gets pulled into the game, this is what he looks like.
That's silly.
That would be extremely silly and kind of weird connotations if they went with that and didn't, like literal child predator kind of vibes, because two of the people in the movie are just actual children. But that would at least be creative.
Did he run into the Minecraft portal to escape Chris Hansen?
Yeah, this is the real question. Could they have not gotten him a better wig?
It sucks.
It is so bad. The only justifiable reason for it, and this is the only thing that I can possibly imagine, is if they are trying to intentionally and not so subtly capture the same zeitgeist that the original Sonic trailer did, where they redid Sonic's model, and it's just like, oh yeah, you definitely weren't expecting this to happen ahead of time and had a backup plan, where they've just made it look as awkward as possible with Momoa and Jack Black. But I don't know.
I just don't know.
It doesn't make sense, and it looks really bad. So yeah, it'll probably make about $2 billion.
I cannot wait
Titanic
to go see it in the theaters. You ready for this to dethrone Avatar?
Oh yeah. I'm curious now. How much is the Way of Water at? Oh, that's not what I wanted. Lifetime grosses Avatar. Oh, so sorry. The Way of Water is at 2.3 now. So
okay,
that would be in order for anything to clear the original Avatar, we would realistically be looking at the first $3 billion movie. Which would be pretty big.
Yeah.
Though, if Marvel gets their shit together and cheats like James Cameron did with Avatar and The Way of Water and just re-releases Endgame a couple times, they're easily clear it.
Dude, they could easily do it with like an Endgame and Infinity War double feature.
Yeah, just pre the next Avengers movie, watch the old ones again in theaters kind of promo thing.
Yeah, do like an Avengers movie every week and then do like a double feature at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that would be so long. That'd be cool, but that would be really long.
Really, it would be.
That's like almost 6 hours, isn't it? I feel
no, it's like 8. No, that'd be 9 hours.
For just Infinity War and Endgame?
Oh, no, I was just saying like every Avengers movie.
Oh God, yeah. I'm curious, because, oh God, there's 4 of them now. Infinity War is 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Endgame it's over 3 hours. So we're at 5.5.
Mm-hmm.
Age of Ultron, 221. So we'll round down and we'll say we're at 7.5.
Yeah.
and the original Avengers is 223. So that's 9.5. So using their actual times, that is over 10 hours.
Jesus.
10 hours and about 10 minutes.
And that's not including like Civil War, which is ironically probably another fucking Avengers movie if you consider it properly.
Yeah, of movies that have, I guess it's technically Captain America: Civil War. But yeah, that's another 2.5 hours. But that's basically an Avengers movie.
Yeah, it's like Avengers 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Infinity War Endgame, it doesn't really make sense if you just go straight from Ultron to that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at, I think that would push it to 13 hours for the quintuple header.
Hell yeah.
Uh-huh.
You got nothing else to do for the rest of the week?
Give us all your money.
How much would that ticket be? I'm guessing it'd be like a $60 ticket.
I think it'd be more.
You think so?
I think they could get away with charging more. Yeah, normal matinee is like $12 minimum. So you're talking $60 at least already. I think they'd probably go like 70 or 80.
Okay, yeah, do 80 and then throw a free meal in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they'd probably have to they'd have to do intermissions too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That would be fun though. Could see it. I could see it.
I don't want to see it, but yeah, I could see it.
No. Wow. I just have the box office mojo list up still. I didn't realize Age of Ultron made as much as it did. I guess I'm not too surprised. And it did still make less money than the Avengers, but made a lot of money.
You think... Okay, here's a better idea, right? You do the first half of those movies on one ticket, and then you get a second half for a later date on the same ticket.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I was going to suggest something far worse.
What?
So, Red Letter Media?
Yeah.
They did a viewing of, I think this was only at the point where there was only 3 Transformers movies at that point, but they watched all 3 Transformers movies simultaneously.
Oof.
Do that, but with all of the Avengers movies and Civil War. Actually, you can just keep Civil War out, just all of the Avengers movies, because all of the rest of them are about 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And I would bet, just with how they're paced, you could probably set it up so that, like, Cap picking up Mjolnir is exactly when the other 3 cut out, with the extra half-hour runtime.
I could see that.
That would be pretty... It would be dumb as hell, but kind of fun. I'd throw $10 at that ticket. Just for the novelty of it. Just to see the shit show, right? Because sometimes you have to see the shit show for yourself.
Anything else you would like to bring up for the show?
That is all that I have.
That's no problem. It was a slow ass week.
Yeah.
Gotta love the holidays.
And it's gonna be a little while till our next one. We'll see how it goes over these next couple weeks, but gonna be busy stuff again. So
yeah,
I think with the way things have been going, though, I'm not gonna be. I don't think there's gonna be too much that we're gonna be missing.
The debate. I think that's the only one.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
Yeah. Well, I've been a schmo. I'm sorry, I'm Mr. Ryan. And I am Steve.
And I'm Schmo, and I've Chiral been.